Hello and welcome. The following is a presentation on the Semester 1 progression of the COMP3851A Work Integrated Learning Project. Our team was given the choice of completing one of two university-led projects. The objective of our chosen project was to create a UON orientation website for all potential future students enrolling into university. Approaching it from the frame of mind that the target demographic for the website would include not only those enrolling directly out of high school, but also mature age students looking to further their educational studies beyond past degrees or industry experience. The website aims to provide these potential students with the tools necessary in the enrollment process, as well as further information of the university. During the initiation phase of this project, our team devised a list of what we deemed to be the most essential subjects that our site was to cover, from not only our own experiences as students, but also in reference to currently available resources covering a similar subject matter. We felt that the most important areas that would assist users was those focused on informing them on the university itself, its campuses, its academic facilities, student support networks, social groups and events, and finally some basic contact information for the schools and facilities linked to those users' potential degrees of study, with that information being limited in scope to that of already publicly available resources, which is a choice-given reason in the ethics section of the formal report. The primary motivation is that the majority of first-year undergraduate students are admitting to not understanding the program and course enrollment processes, faculty hierarchies of the university, and how understanding these can help with a smoother transition into university-style education. This is the goal of the website. It aims to bridge that gap between new students and university. In the project development stage of the website, much about the website's internal functionalities and design features were discussed. One particular area of interest was that of the psychological behaviors of users in relation to website design. Though a huge area of study with varying degrees of complexity, the surface and base value of the subject explains the subconscious reactions people have when exposed to different visual experiences and the reactions they invoke. One such phenomenon heavily integrated is the golden ratio, a ratio based on the Fibonacci sequence that, when converted into the dimensions of squares and interconnecting quarter circles, creates a perfect spiral pattern. One which is found all throughout nature and architecture, whether intentionally used or not. It is interwoven into our history and current lives, and with something being so prevalent in all things found perfect, it is no wonder that it is used by academics as setting website element ratios to 1.61, with many website designers setting these ratios subconsciously themselves. Another point of interest for our website development research was color theory, a very conscious decision in the design of a website, for its power to completely change the feel and connection a user has with a site. It stated that a person's reaction of whether to buy from or to use a site is made within the first 90 seconds of them visiting the page. Color theory has been proven to convey and evoke emotions with many different psychological responses being dependent on the age, gender, and even culture of the user. A web developer has to use color theory to appropriately target their site demographic. The criticality of the 90-second response time means an element that has so much power has to be given considerable thought in the design of a website.
Interactivity and, by extension, interactive widgets add an extended layer of involvement and user engagement, albeit in a more literal sense rather than subconscious. Such engagement is a key aspect of website design that aims to combine both design and functionality to create content that users will revisit and share with their friends. In an article written by internet psychologist Graham Jones, he's cited in saying, "Interactivity appears to be linked to credibility. If you want people to believe your website, new research implies you need to increase the amount of interactivity." This example has been proven through a study in which researchers found website interactivity to directly correlate to the degree by which users determine the site to be credible, trustworthy, and believable. Interactivity has been implemented in a variety of ways. Our site intends to allow users to utilize several design elements which, average though they may seem, will be heavily stylized through JavaScript. These personalized touches, such as unique animations for hovering over options, sliding menus, and changing background images, adds a layer of depth to the site that users will not only find charming, but also affirming, as users correlate the complexity of the site's visual appearance with the level of quality and security the site offers its users. Our design goal is to make an adaptive, modern website that suits the complex needs of students while also maintaining a balance of informal, engaging visuals to contrast with high amounts of important information and potentially intimidating processes that these students may find themselves anxious towards. An example of one site which achieves its goal in inviting students through engaging client-side JavaScript widgets is the Brown University Math Department official site. Sherman is quoted in saying, "They've dedicated a section of their site to colorful, interactive tools that allow you to interact with data." This data manipulation calculator tool appeals to the target audience of the site, promoting the university in a way that is both personalized to them and memorable.
For the project aims, the main homepage will contain basic information about the university and its Australian campus. On each left-hand side, there's going to be a short grid of buttons that will be used to navigate the site's topics. Fig X1 shows the key features of the site, such as an interactive map allowing any New South Wales campus to be selected between Callaghan or Rimba and the new space. A legend will sit adjacent to the map, allowing users to highlight specific locations on the map. Filters will include faculty locations, school office locations, student hubs, student parking, shuttle bus stops, and other on-campus amenities. Fig X2 is another key feature on the site that implements an interactive calendar. This allows users to select dates and view information or even add events to the calendar through a text box, and whatever they add, the calendar will be updated and the information can be shown whether an event has been cancelled or the date has been changed. Fig X3 is an assistant page. It contains most of the contact information you can have through with the uni, be it student services, information about the library, accommodation, faculty and departments, even the IT services for each respective campus. Fig X4 is the list of clubs and societies that will utilize a similar structured list of information, but instead of a grid, there will be icons that will represent each club or society. It will act as a link that will connect to the university actual website for that particular club, and you'll find more information about it there. Fig X5 is information regarding the library facilities, such as library areas, how to borrow books, how to search for books, how to use printers, location of information desk. This page you're looking at right now will be the page that's on the actual university website that has the information you're looking for. On our website, we just have the link that will connect you to this information about the library. This website is the first point of information or source of information for students, first year students at the University of Newcastle. Basically, this website is supposed to show the basic information about uni services and where to find important information. This is the first homepage, first page you see when you open the website. At the top, we have the search bar. If the students become familiar with the website, they'll be able to just search what they're looking for without having to go through all the icons and all the home pages. We have the introduction of the uni, the core values of the uni, what the uni is about, what they offer. Here at the bottom, we have different links to the most basic information students need to find when they start uni or before orientation. For example, maps. The map, since we have 3 campuses, for the University of Newcastle, we have the Callaghan or Rimba New Space. Depending on which campus you're on, you'll find an interactive map for that specific campus. So the interactive map will be able to show you the building and how to get there, and you're able to zoom in and zoom out and clearly see each building on the map. So it will be an interactive map. And on each page, you have a navigation bar. So instead of you going back to home to find to access all the other icons on the home page, you find them all on the navigation bar. So if you go to the calendar, for example, the calendar will show you the events the uni has going on or that are happening in the couple of days, weeks, or months, depending on what you're looking for, what you're interested in. So all the events that the uni offers will be on the calendar, and you can even set a reminder or set yourself a reminder to find out when that event will be, and it will keep you notified for that event if the day is approaching or if it's actually on the day. We have clubs and societies. We all need to make friends or have a social life, so this will be like, will help you interact with other students of the same discipline or whatever you're interested in. So we do have sports clubs, um like soccer, rugby, even music. So depending on what you're interested in, you find those clubs and societies. Yeah. So those clubs and societies, if you click on any either of them, it will link specifically on the university website of that club. So the information you find on these websites, on these links, will be already on the university website. So this is just a straight way of going to that club when you go through this website. If you go to contact, you'll be able to contact the uni about student services, libraries, about accommodation, Blackboard, faculties and departments. So all these links, like I said before, will link to the actual website of the uni. So if you click on student services, you go to the student services department or page on the actual uni website. So this will be like a shortcut to go to that website, and it will be a bit easier to actually find the information you're looking for. And then we have testimonials. Testimonials will be videos, some made by other students, some we make ourselves, depending on what information you need. So you need to know what you need to know about week one or to-do list before uni starts. These are some of the videos we're gonna come up with to make it easier for first year students when they start uni. And then other videos will be videos from previous students who've had their testimonials taken and what they think about the university or their experiences. Some of the videos will be linked to the actual uni website where that video is found, and they'll be able to access it from there. If we go back to home, we have a director of faculties. So this director of faculties will show you who's who on the actual university website. So depending on what you're looking for, you'll be able to see information about the chancellor, the departments. Just basically, it's the director of faculties of who's who on the actual uni website, on the actual at the University of Newcastle. So we try to make the website a bit similar to the actual uni website, so that when you're moving from one website to the next, there isn't much difference. It's like the story just flows through and it's linked. It won't be that much difference between the two websites, but most of the basic information will be on this actual website. Thank you.
Site creation and development. The University Map intends to utilize client-side JavaScript to create a user-friendly, interactive experience. Users will be able to select from a list of toggleable options to highlight specific areas, resources, and buildings. This element will not use GPS technology, but instead renders of each university campus which can be cycled through using a drop-down box. Interactive University Map. The University Map intends to utilize client-side JavaScript to create a user-friendly, interactive experience. Users will be able to select from a list of toggleable options to highlight specific areas, resources, and buildings. This element will not use GPS technology, but instead renders of each university campus which can be cycled through using a drop-down box. Contact information for student services, clubs, and societies. Pages outlining the facilities, clubs, and societies of the university will use XML files to store important contact information, as these fields can be easily categorized and updated, eliminating the need for an external database for information to be stored on. Other text will be embedded into the site through HTML. Orientation Week Timetable. The interactive timetable will implement both technologies. Client-side JavaScript will be used to implement the interactive calendar widget, while XML files will be used to store important information regarding events, and HTML will be used for the site's text. Implementation and maintenance. During development, we intend to use a prototyping methodology to receive feedback and improve the site based on fault testing and feedback, allowing us to refine the site and implement user suggestions before the final version of the site is uploaded. The site will be monitored and updated appropriately should there be any errors.
We have devised a full list of the tasks and features that the website is to include. This has been refined not only from the requirements given in the assessment requirements, but also additional functional features derived from our own experiences as students. Within that list is a university map displaying building information in hover over pop-ups. There is also to be a list of the clubs and societies grouped with the information relating to those clubs and societies, a lot like the contact information page in the same structure and style. There is also a list of who to contact for accommodation services, health services, student services, student union, libraries and IT services linked to the university. There is also to be a how to utilize the library facilities, a page detailing how to borrow, how to search for a book, how to use the printers, and the location of information desks for real-time help when at the university's libraries. There is also a list of the social events that take place on campus throughout the year. This will also be related to the orientation week in those events themselves. And there is also to be a timetable of the orientation week events separate for those students that can attend. Another major part of our results is, as seen earlier in the presentation, we have developed each of these features into our website design layout storyboard, detailing how the site is to flow and how it will look and function. Still, a lot of visuals are still left to be implemented, as mentioned in the case study 1 of the research background. Much about colour theory has to be considered and how we're going to make it feel appropriate with the audience that we're trying to target, as well as fitting the mood of all currently implemented UON sites. The biggest challenge experienced during the semester 1 phase of this project has been the unexpected COVID-19 lockdown. It was an unforeseen event that drastically changed how universities functioned and consequently how this project was going to be completed in a group work environment. The lockdown, as well as social distancing laws, meant that physical meetings were not only difficult to organise in accordance with regulations, but in most circumstances, illegal. This meant that Zoom meetings became our primary communication tool, but it came with its own problems. Zoom has a time limit for how long meetings can go for on a free account, thus limiting how much work could be completed in a single meeting, leading to things either being rushed or some parts just being completely forgotten about due to that time limit. And though screen share is a feature integrated into Zoom, it does not have a collaborative tool where members can work together on a single file in real time. This issue of working collaboratively in real time became a regular occurrence during our project. Time differences and internet problems sometimes meant that items did not upload and share correctly, all of these things slowly dragging out the completion of the semester 1